Hey everyone, are you ready for an easy day? Let's do it. Hi everyone, Cristin here, and today we have a very easy day while we work on Ginger's Kitchen Bench Pillow. So we're just going to do the border blocks for section 1. Section 1 border blocks today. Very easy. There's only a couple of them. So far we already have our gingerbread house A complete and our cookie testers block that we added to it. And then we have the pinwheel blocks that we were given lots of options on how you want to do those. All right, so today we're just going to do the border blocks. We're not going to do anything special to them. It's going to be a really easy day. So let's go ahead and talk about what we need for today. So I made a packet for my border blocks for section 1. It shows them on page 11 if you need more information. So I'm going to just pull those out of this packet here. And I'm going to go over them one at a time. There's only a few actually. So the first one is, this is number 1 border block. I have them all numbered. So this one is the original is the black with Christmas wording on it or baking wording on it. And we're going to want this, it's up to you. You can either do it at 3x5. That's my recommendation. I like to do them a little bit larger just in case they pull in a little bit from the stitching, but you don't have to. The original is 2.5 by 4.5 and that will work. All right. I'll show you both ways of how to make it work. All right. So on this one, if you haven't stabilized it, then you'll be more likely to have it pull in a little bit and get a little bit smaller. And we need it to be 2.5 by 4.5. So I would recommend stabilizing it, but that's up to you. I did cut mine a little bit bigger at 3x5. And so I'll show you how to do it when we have it a little bit larger. We'll have to cut it down afterwards, of course, but at least then it will catch. That's the reason why, and I mentioned this on the prep video, I like to cut the border blocks. Some of them, not all of them we can, and I'll show you why in a minute. But if we're able to make them a little bit bigger, it makes it so when we do that tack down stitch, it will actually catch. And I just find that easier rather than using tape. Either way will work though. So the border block number 1 is the black fabric. This is the original. The one from our sponsor, the substitute, is this navy blue doodles. All right, Christmas doodles on it. You can see it's got candy canes and peppermints and so forth. And that one will be great too. This one is directional. This one is not. That's one thing to keep in mind. So either 3x5 or 2.5 by 4.5 will work fine. All right, that's for border block number 1. All right, now border block number 2, 3, and 4, those are going to work. Actually, they're not numbered that way now because I'm putting them together. So these are the ones that the original will be 2.5 by 2.5, but we're going to sew them together. So that's why you don't want to make these ones bigger. All right, so let's just go ahead and talk about these. So the first one is this green with Christmas dots on it. All right, and this is going to be 2.5 by 2.5. Don't make this one bigger because like I said, we're going to sew it together with 2 others and then it won't work out. All right, so have it be the original size, 2.5 by 2.5. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. All right, 2.5 by 2.5. This is the original one. You can see the green with all the colored dots. That from our sponsor, we received this green with Christmas doodles on it. So either one of these will work fine. 2.5 by 2.5 on this first one. And then the second one, the one that's going to be in the middle, the original is this black and white with red plaid on it. And this one again, 2.5 by 2.5. I backed mine with fusible stabilizer, up to you. And then from our sponsor, we received this gray with holly leaves as the substitution. All right, so either one of these, 2.5 by 2.5, and that's going to be our middle. There's going to be 3 in a row on this one. All right, and then the last one is the green with big white dots, and this is also what came from our sponsor. No substitution on that one. So 2.5 by 2.5 for this. Again, I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. 2.5 by 2.5. So we're going to sew those 3 together, and then it will be 2.5 by 6.5. All right, so first let's talk about our batting. So our batting on that first one, the black one, on this one, we want our batting to be 3 by 5. All right, one piece of batting that is 3 by 5. All right, and then on the next one, the 3 that we're going to sew together, that one you want a piece of batting that is 3 by 7, right? Yep, 3 by 7. All right, so the size on that one is going to turn out to be 2.5 by 6.5 overall. So 3 by 7 on your batting, and then for our quilting, the first one, that black one, we are going to have the quilting be 2 by 4, and you can use any quilting design that you want that is 2 by 4. All right, this is that black one, the one with the lines, or it's the navy blue with the doodles on it. So on this one, I've chosen lines, just plain lines, because I'm using that busier fabric with the wording on it. So I'm just going to do lines, keep it simple, a color that I'll probably use black just so it won't take away from the wording. So I'm going to use lines 1 by Kimberbell in a 2 by 4. You can use any quilting design that you want that is 2 by 4. And if you're using the one from our sponsor, that will be easier, right? You won't have to worry about overtaking the fabric. It's not nearly as busy a fabric as the one with all the wording on it. All right, so 2 by 4, any quilting design that you want on that one. And then the 3 that we're sewing together, that one you want a quilting design that is 2 by 6. Any quilting design that you want that is 2 by 6. I'm going to use Christmas 1 on that one. It's the one that's got the gingerbread, and I think there's some peppermint and stuff on it too. I'm not absolutely sure, but gingerbread, it's Christmas 1 in a 2 by 6. That's what I'm going to use. We used it a lot for whisk, and I think we've already used it even for this one for Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow. So any quilting design that you want, 2 by 6. Super easy day. I am going to bring you over to the computer to show you how to merge them together in one hooping. If you choose, you could easily do these in 2 hoopings, that one, the black one, and then the one that has the 3 blocks. You can do those separately, or you can merge them together. Either way, I'm going to show you, if you choose to use your Embellishment Essentials, how to easily merge them together in one hooping. All right, so let's go over to the computer. Hey everyone, so I'm at my computer now, and I'm just going to very quickly show you how to merge those 2 blocks together. It will be 2 because we're going to do those 3 all together. So we'll have that one black one and then the 3 that are sewn together. So I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials. That is the software that I use. If you're in the market for embroidery software, please use my affiliate link. I will add a link here. You just click on that and look for Embellishment Essentials. That's the one that I show you how to use. All right, so it will open up to the hoop that you used last. So right down here at the bottom, you can see I'm on my 5 by 7 hoop, and I don't think I'm going to use that, but I'm going to start with that to show you that it will fit in a 5 by 7. All right, so now we're going to you can go here to merge stitch file and find your file, or if you have the folder already open, you can open up your folder and just drag it over. So I'm just going to shrink down my folder so I can see my desktop here. And I have my quilt files here. I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to click on lines 1. That's the first one that I'm using. And I want Pez for my machine, and we wanted a 2 by 4 design for that. So 2 by 4, this one has horizontal or vertical. I have to keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that 2 by 4 lines 1 horizontal and drag it over. All right, I'm going to shrink that folder down so I can see, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to move it all the way over to the left, making sure not to go over the hoop. That yellow line represents the hoop. All right, so that one is done, super easy. And now I'm going to open up that folder again, and I think I was going to use Christmas 1 on the next one, so I'm just going to go back, and there's Christmas 1. Embroidery files, block by block. Pez is what I use, and this one we want a 2 by 6. So I'm going to drag that over to the Embellishment program. So that one, it will go to the center. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Make sure you just have that second design, not the first one. And then I'm going to move it over to the right. And this is what I wanted to show you. It will fit really tight, but it does fit. So keep in mind that We have no extra space on this one, so you won't have to worry about your fabric overlapping. And I have a little extra fabric on this one, like a 1/2 inch, so a 1/4 inch on each side. So it's not going to matter. So really this would work, but it stresses me out. I don't like to have it too close. So I'm going to change to a larger hoop, but I wanted to show you can do this in a 5x7 if your biggest hoop is a 5x7. So I'm going to go up here to merge stitch file, not to the merge stitch file, sorry, I'm going to go up to the preferences folder, and I'm going to change to my 8x8 hoop. I really like my 8x8 hoop. That's the one I use the most often. All right, so if I click on this compass button, I can click on H for hoop, and that will show me my hoop and see how much more room I have. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that first design, and I'm just going to move it over to the edge, and then click on this one and move it over. Oopsies, what did I do? What did I do here? Hold on, sorry. All right, click on the design and move it over. I must not have been clicked on it. All right, and so remember, I don't need much room for this one, but I need a little bit of room for this one, and I just don't like them that close. It stresses me out. So this will be great. Now, the other thing that we can do is you can do these all together so that you're not pulling that batting, you're not pulling that hoop on and off to be able to cut the batting. I want to go ahead and merge my designs to do a color sort. But before I do that, notice that we have the default blues. There's 2 of them. Those will join together. Same with the default oranges and same with the turquoise. So I haven't decided my thread color on the second one, but I know the first one I want black. So I'm going to want these to be different. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to change these colors. It will make it a lot easier to run through these and not worry about what's going to join and what's not going to join. So I'm going to click on 1, and then I'm going to click on the color down here in the properties window. If your properties window ever goes away, just go up to this view tab and make sure that you've got all of these clicked. And on this toolbar, same thing. You want all of these clicked to be able to see them if it ever goes away. All right, so properties window, click on the color, and then I'm on palettes by mistake because I needed it for something before. So make sure you're on threads, because if you're on palettes, it's only showing you the colors that are already in that design, and we don't want the same colors. That's the whole purpose of doing changing the color so that they don't join. So I'm going to go to threads, and I'm going to click on the first color that comes up for me, which is dark aqua. And I'm on Fil-Tec Glide. You can choose whatever your normal thread is that you use a lot, but mine comes up as these colors because I'm on Fil-Tec Glide. So I'm going to choose dark aqua and say, okay, that's that first one. Now for 1, 2, I'm going to click on 1, 2, click on the color, and the first color that comes up for me is Blaze. I'm going to click on that. It doesn't matter the color. That's why I just do the first one that comes up. It's faster. All right, and then 1, 3, click on the color down here in the properties window. We already used dark aqua. You can see it right there. So I'm going to go to the next color down, which is Marine. And then 1, 4, click on the color, and we already used Blaze, so I'm going to use Oriole. And then 1, 5, click on the color, and I'm going to choose the first one, which is Sprout. And then same thing with these down here. We want them to be the same as up here, except for this last one, number 5. I want a stop, and I'll show you when we get there. So 2, 1, I want it to be the same as the ones up here so that those will join and I can do them together. So I'm going to click on the color, and I'm going to choose dark aqua just like I did up here. All right, 2, 2, click on the color, and I'm going to choose Blaze because it's the same one up here. And then 2, 3, click on the color. I want the second color down, which is Marine. And 2, 4, click on the color. Second color down is Oriole. And then here's where I'm saying if I were to do Sprout like I did on this first one, it would just run right through them and no stop. I want a specific stop. I want it to go, oh wait, here's time for you to change your thread color, okay? So I'm going to click on the color, and I want a different color than Sprout. That's what will make it stop. I'm going to say okay. All right, so those are done. That was super easy. You can see we have 10 color stops right now. I'm going to do a color sort and make sure that you have these 2 designs separated in the way that you want them before you do a color sort, because once you do a color sort, you can't move them around. Then they are joined. All right, so make sure that they're how you want them in the hoop. All right, so I'm going to go to Utility, Color Sort, and it thinks. Make sure you have these same settings as me. All right, tolerance is at 0 to get the same results that I'm getting. Tolerance at 0. These force appliques are not checked and the RHS is not selected. And it says the design page has been reduced by 4 color changes. I'm going to click new view. Always click new view. Even if it's a really simple one like we just did, you always want to check it and make sure it did what you think it should do. All right, so I'm going to open this up to be able to see the 6 steps. There's 6 now because of some joined and because I have the actual quilting separated. So I'm going to click on 1-1 just to check. That's the placement for the batting. Those are together. The tack down for the batting are together. The placement for the main fabric are together. And so we want to, on that one, so when we place our fabric, we're going to make sure that it's going in the direction that you want. You can see I've chosen one that is not directional, but if you have a directional fabric, you would want to make sure that those 3 blocks are set up in the way that you want them. All right, and then 1-4, that's the tack down of the main fabric. So this one here, the first one on mine will tack down because I made it a little bit bigger. This one won't tack down. It'll go like right around it. It might tack down just a tiny bit. So tape it in place if you want. And again, it's totally optional to make it a little bit bigger, but not on the ones that we sew together. We can't do that. All right, and then there's my first quilting design and the second quilting design. So that worked out perfectly. I'm going to do a file, save stitch file as, and it's asking, where do you want to save this? I'm going to go ahead and save it in my embroidery files for Ginger's Kitchen. I'm on Jeff because I was doing something for someone else. So I use Pez. All right, and I'm going to name this Border Blocks Section 1. All right, and save it. I don't have my machine on, or I would send it to my machine. If you don't have that option, you can save it to your USB stick. You could either do it this way by going File, Save Stitch File As, and then choose your USB drive once you put it in your computer, or you could save it regular like how I just did it, and I saved it to my computer, and then I can just drag it over, copy it, and drag it over to the USB drive. And I have an entire tutorial just on how to save to the USB drive if you need help with that. All right, that's it. Easy day. Let's get started. my shirt today. This is a fun one. I really like it. Quilting with friends will keep you in stitches. Isn't that cute? That's from Designs by Juju. It came in a whole set of designs. I will add information under this video. The shirt, I believe, is also from Amazon. If I'll check to make sure. I believe it was, though, and if so, I'll add a link. Here's a link to my Amazon storefront where you can always find lots of shirts that I recommend for embroidering on, and I'll add all the information under this video as well. So how are you doing with your goal? I want to hear about it. I really enjoy hearing about them. So as you know, I'm picking a couple of words and things that are helpful with our mental health that I'm talking about this project. So today's going to be a real quick and short one. So future fear, that's the one I'm going to talk about today. So I don't know if this is everybody, maybe it's just me, but I get where if this one thing happens, everything is going to go badly, right? Like I instead of taking it one day at a time and thinking about what's going on right now, I will start to get in my head about things that could happen in the future. I do that. I definitely do that. And it's something that I shouldn't do, because if you have trust in your higher power, and whatever your higher power is, if you have trust in your higher power, then if you're fearing the future and things that are out of your control, what a waste of time and effort and energy, right? I mean, seriously, what a waste. And yet I do it too. I totally do it. I'm doing it right now if I'm having a day that is making me do that. But I know to trust that there's a plan, it's bigger than I am. And so just faith over fear, right? Have you seen that saying? I think I have it on a shirt. Faith over fear. I think that it's really important. We are just one small part in this world, right? And so we have to think of bigger picture and somebody looking over us and taking care of us and leading us, and things happen for a reason. I really believe that. Every bad thing that's happened in my life I've learned from it. I've grown from it. There's a purpose to it. I feel very, very, very strongly about that. So if I get fearful about something that could happen in the future, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe if it comes true and that thing happens, then I know me. I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to learn from it. So faith over fear. Don't future fear. Try to stay in the now. That's my little bit of advice for today.